Hi guys, and welcome to my review of Scream 4. So this is probably like my favorite when it comes to the sequels. Definitely the best one when it comes to the sequels, man. So much fun watching this. Well, when I first watched it, I didn't really watch it when it first came out. I kind of watched it a bit late when I was watching the Scream movies for the first time, or the sequels for the first time, because I watched the Scream movie like back in the day. But yeah, I think it was like around 2017, 2018 when I finally watched all the sequels back to back. And I was actually surprised that I liked all of the movies. Yeah, there's some that are better than others, but I do like all of the Scream movies, yeah. But Scream 4 is probably the best sequel out of all of them. Yeah. So much fun. Just the way how they open it. Because they know they're never going to be able to top the first movie. It doesn't seem like the fifth movie is going to do the same as well. But it's a really fun opening. They kind of go for a more funny approach. I mean, the first one kind of had a more dark and funny approach, but this one just goes like full funny. My God, it seems like the ones who are going to be killed off straight away, but then we find out that's like a movie, and then you see like the woke actor from X-Men saying how bad this movie is, and then she gets killed randomly, and then that's a movie as well. It's just, oh my God, man, this is such a funny opening. And then we see the actual people this time, I think, yeah. Then they get killed by the actual killer. Yeah, just just the way how they do like several fake outs, and then we actually see the proper killer and the proper victims as well. Yeah, high school students. Yeah, and then that's what starts the story, and we kind of see Dewey as a sheriff now. So he's actually got a high ranking now because probably been doing this for a long time now. So it makes sense. And there's like a new deputy this time, which I guess is kind of someone who has his back. And then with Gail, I guess Gail and Dewey are married now at this point. But it doesn't seem like they're getting along as much in this movie. Probably like their most toxic relationship between each other in this movie. Yeah, like they don't even really trust each other. Well, Dewey doesn't really want to put her in harm's way. That's why I think. And I guess Gail's not really a reporter anymore. She's not doing that kind of thing anymore. So yeah, he doesn't really want her in danger. And as for Sydney, like kind of like in the third one, she was trying to move on with her life, but then it all just came back. Oh, Sydney, she kind of proper moved on this time. Like she was even in any center of being around, where the killer could be, and she was kind of brought back at a kind of awkward time. Yeah, and because she was actually going to leave as well, but she didn't really have a choice because she was kind of around the people who got killed, so she couldn't really leave because it'd make her a suspect as well because everyone's a suspect. Yeah, something that Randy would say. It just would have been cool if they kept him around, but I mean, we kind of get a pretty cool character from Heroes. Well, the actor anyway. Yeah, she's really cool in this. Kirby. Yeah, I really enjoy her in this movie. She's basically the one who knows everything about horror movies. So yeah, she's kind of the replacement of Randy. And it kind of sucks that they killed her off, man. Just imagine if he was getting to see her again in Scream 5. That would have been cool, man. But, sadly, they kind of kill off her character. So, yeah. I mean, obviously, spoilers, because, I've been talking spoilers in all of the reviews, so, yeah. She was a fun character, man. Also, her kind of, like, relationship with Charlie, which kind of ends up not well, because Charlie's actually secretly one of the Ghostface killers, because there's two in this one. And I'll talk about the other one near the end as well. Yeah, because it's kind of connected to Sydney again, obviously, because it's always the case. Yeah, it's always the case basically. Yeah, because basically these high school kids start to get murdered, but it's all kind of planned in a way which I'll get to the end. When I get to the end, I'll kind of explain that. Yeah. Yeah, they're just basically trying to set things up so they can bring out Sydney and get her into a situation where, she could take the fall for it. But I'll get more into that, at the end. So yeah. But yeah, I guess Dewey and Gail are just doing their usual thing, trying to find out who the killer is. I mean, and if you think about it, like, even when it comes to the main characters, they don't get, like, bare screen time like in the previous movies. Instead, they try to give screen time for Sydney Gale, Dewey, and the new characters in this movie all at the same time, so it's more like an ensemble cast, really. Yeah, so it doesn't really feel like the main characters are getting as much time. I mean, the only time you see Sydney a lot is when, the kids are in danger and she's trying to help them, but they get killed. Yeah, they get destroyed. Also, the cops. Oh, yeah, Anthony Anderson, yeah. He's funny in this movie, from Blackish. Yeah, as one of the cops, yeah. And kind of saying, like, horror movie cliches, like, I'll be back and stuff, and probably won't be back if he leaves. Or if you're the one who's still in the car, you could be dead instead, like, just stuff like that. And then that actually does happen, and just the way how Anthony Anderson gets killed off, man. Right in the head. I mean, yeah, some of the kills are pretty basic. I mean, there's some where you actually see the guts all over the bed and stuff, which is pretty brutal. But yeah, maybe in the sequel they could do something where it's like a lot more creative, because these movies are not really creative when it comes to the kills. I mean, only a few of them are, but most of the time it's just stab, stab, stab. That's it, really. Yeah, nothing that creative. So maybe in Scream 5 they can get more creative in that way. Yeah, that'd be pretty cool. Hmm. But yeah, like I was saying, because yeah, my favorite character in this movie is obviously, well, it's between Kirby and Jill. Jill's kind of like spoiler stuff, like more spoiler stuff that I'll talk about at the end. So yeah, and I also, it's obviously a spoiler review, so yeah. But Kirby, yeah, she was just a fun character. I'd still say Randy's better than Kirby, but Kirby, she was pretty fun. Yeah, she's kind of like that kind of person who you'd want to be friends with. And it's kind of weird, like, who she might actually get with, like Charlie, someone who just seems like pretty geeky and yeah, stuff like that. I mean, she's kind of geeky herself, so to me, it makes sense. But kind of get interrupted by one of the friends, which later gets killed. Yeah, because I guess they was going to make out probably, but yeah, yeah. And the way how when it gets really serious and Kirby is trying to help Charlie, she just knows the answers to everything, man. She's just like flawless. And then she saves Charlie, but then Charlie, he's the killer, so Kirby kind of gets killed, sadly. Yeah. And then, basically takes Sydney hostage. And then that's when we reveal to, like, the true person who's in charge. And it's Jill. So the person who we thought was just one of the high school kids who was, basically being chased by the Ghostface killer. But actually, she's kind of behind everything. I guess she killed all of her friends. And she's also the cousin to Sydney. So, yeah, relations again, just like in the third movie. But I actually really dig her plan. She literally has the best plan in the whole series. Well, Billy's, I guess you can kind of win. I can't even say relate, but you understand his motives. And with hers, it makes a lot of sense, because in this generation of ours, if you want to be famous, all you have to do is just do something stupid, and you get like bare attention and become famous, just like Logan Paul, basically. Yeah, like you won't even have to work or anything. Like you just become really famous, depending on what you get big off. Like back in the YouTube days, like people just make simple videos, like anybody got time for that or something like that, and then they'll just get like really famous, and they don't even really have to work after that. We'll just make loads of money, and that's basically her plan. Yeah, and it's kind of a bit mixed with some of the stuff from the third movie with the brother. Basically being pushed to the side, and Sydney being the most important, family member. So yeah, there's that too. But it's mostly because she wants to become famous. So it looks like she kills Sydney. She's kind of making it probably the best frame job like so far. Like basically hurting herself, smashing herself through glass, just stabbing herself, doing it so it looks like someone else was the killer. Basically, yeah, one of the people who she killed puts a knife next to him, and then just puts herself next to Sydney. Yeah. Then she wakes up in the hospital. It seems like everything's gone according to plan. She asks about Sydney. Well, references Sydney about, I wish she was still here, but then, Dewey says, like, she's still alive. Then, she tries to finish the job. You know, basically Dewey and Gale figure out what she's trying to do. So they try to stop her, but then, you know, she kind of gets a gun. Does she get like Dewey's gun or something? And then she's holding him hostage, basically. I guess that partner who was with Dewey, the other deputy, she gets shot. I mean, she was an okay character in this movie, but you know, they don't really do a lot with her. And I wonder if they're gonna bring her back in the sequel. Yeah, might need to check the cast again. But you know, she's kind of wearing like bulletproof armor, so I guess she's fine anyway. But they make it look like she died or something. But then they basically trick, you know, Jill by, is it like Gale or Dewey who are talking to her? Because when Dewey gets knocked out by, you know, Jill, and it's Gale who's talking to her, but then Sydney's secretly getting like a defibrillator or whatever you call it, and then just shocks her head. Like, what a way to go out. Yeah. And that's the end for Jill. Yeah. But then she gets back up, and we get the usual double tap. Yeah. Yeah, the usual. And that wraps up a pretty good sequel. Like, it was a lot of fun. And probably my longest review, because, you know, this is the best one to me. When it comes to sequels, the first one will always be the best. Like, they'll never beat it, in my opinion. Even if Scream 5 is really good, and at least beats 4. I just hope it at least beats 2 and 3, and beats on the level of 4. But if it can at least beat 4, like, that's enough for me. I just don't see it beating the original movie. I can't see it. But yeah, pretty good sequel, the 4th one. Really enjoyed it. Probably give it like a 8.8 out of 10. Yeah, that's the highest I can go. Yeah, I was feeling like, should I give it a 9? But 8.8 out of 10, because I wish there were some things that did better, like give the actual main characters who actually survive more screen time. And I also wish Kirby survived, so like if they did those two things, I mean the gore, I mean it's probably the most goriest out of the movies. But still not a lot of gore really, yeah. But yeah, it probably would get a 9 out of 10 for just at least 2 of those things, what I said. So yeah guys, hope you enjoyed my Scream reviews. I guess I'll review the new one in my birthday month in January. So yep guys, I'll see you in the next one. Peace.